And both candidates have, of course, spent a lot of face time in the Sunshine State, especially Donald Trump. Today we saw both Trump and Clinton. Donald Trump visited Tampa, a city in the crucial I-4 region, the corridor that goes from Daytona Beach through Orlando down to Tampa. That is in yellow on your map, and the home to Hillsborough County, which has predicted the president the past 19 of 20 elections. 40% of Florida voters live in that I-4 corridor. Hillary Clinton spent her Saturday in friendly territory, a Democratic stronghold just north of Miami. You see there in blue. Early voting goes through tomorrow in some parts of this state. The question now, can Democrats get out the vote to overcome what is obviously, and what we have seen here, are some of Donald Trump's fervent supporters, especially up in the panhandle of Florida? Here to weigh in, Miami Beach Mayor and Hillary Clinton campaign surrogate Philip Levine. Mr. Mayor, always nice to see you, sir. Appreciate it. As the rain comes down here.
No rain in Miami.
There's never rain.
We call it liquid sunshine.
There you go. I like that. I like that. So now that we know you'll spin just about anything, spin for me early voting in Florida.
Well, let me tell you what I know right now. In Miami Beach itself, as a microcosm, the early turnout vote is going to be literally twice as much as it was in 2012. And Miami Beach is historically a very strong Democratic city.
Now, what Donald Trump's campaign will say to you is they'll say, absolutely, turnout is huge, and that is because there are so many absolutely fervent Trump supporters who won't tell you they're voting for Donald Trump, but they're coming to the polls.
Well, in Donald's alternative universe, that may be true, but in the reality of the world today, we don't think that's true. Matter of fact, it's actually the opposite. There are so many Republicans, I hear it every day, that are voting for Secretary Clinton. So as far as Dade County, right now, over 100,000 more Democrats have voted as opposed to Republicans. So that's big. These are historic numbers. And as you know, in the state of Florida right now, the Hispanic turnout, which is decidedly very Democratic going for Secretary Clinton, is up 30%.
Now, is it up 30%, you think, for one of which reasons? A, there's more Hispanics. Puerto Ricans have obviously moved in, especially into the Orlando area, which was heavily Republican territory. Is it because Hispanics are sort of incited or outraged by Donald Trump, and therefore they are motivated to turn out? Or there's simply more Hispanics?
I think it really has to do with the fact that Donald Trump has come out as being very anti-Hispanic. He wants to build a wall. He wants the 11 million folks to be sent home. He has degraded a federal judge of Hispanic heritage. So I think if you put those three things together, I think the Hispanics are saying we want nothing to do with Donald Trump. We're seeing it here in Florida. I'm hearing it constantly. And of course, the African Americans, same situation.
Let's talk a little bit about Florida as we move north in terms of the I-4 corridor. And our Carl Cameron, who it's hard to argue with his political expertise as it goes so far back. Who wins I-4 wins Florida. Big part of the I-4 corridor, I used to work there in Orlando, is the African-American population. And every number we've seen shows African-American turnout is down in Florida. It's also down in North Carolina. It's also down in Ohio.
So I have to disagree. Right now, African-American turnout is up 22% in Florida. It is actually going up. I did an African-American mayor's bus tour 2 weeks ago with great African-American mayors from across the country that came here. The enthusiasm is tremendous. Tomorrow, we have Souls to the Polls. All the African-American churches are bringing in tremendous amount of them to the polls tomorrow. It's going to be very significant. So I think the enthusiasm's there. President Obama has been here nonstop, going out there and campaigning. And listen, there's a lot of problems going on in the Trump camp. The head of transition is facing a federal indictment charge, Chris Christie. So I'm not sure, where he's going to actually do the transition. Maybe that's going to be in jail, but we don't really know yet. Okay?
Well, he was, in fairness, he was cleared. But your point, your point is well made.
Donald's judgment. Donald's judgment is very poor.
Let me ask you this, though. The other person who has shown questionable judgment at times is said by the FBI director was Secretary Clinton. And there's a real question in terms of if all you're saying is true, why is this race so close?
Do you mean after a year investigation when he fully cleared her? And then
he cleared of any crime.
They found out some backup emails that maybe they haven't seen or they possibly have seen. I mean, come on. Let Donald Trump focus on the emails. We're focusing on what affects the American people, not what Secretary Clinton is about.
Is that what we're going to see in this closing argument, you think?
No question about it.
It's going to go more positive.
Let Donald go with his emails. Secretary Clinton is about how does she raise the middle class and make America better for everybody. About the American dream, not about Donald Trump's 1%.
Well, we'll see if her stump speech changes over the next couple of days. Obviously, 72 hours left. We know you were on the trail earlier. Sure you'll be out there tomorrow as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.